Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in today. Hope you're having a great morning. Unfortunately, much of what people do in our world today is done for personal gain. Have you noticed that? They do it to get rich, they do it to get famous, or they do it to make themselves more comfortable. I don't need to tell you that the American culture is obsessed with self. And one of the worst things that can happen in any culture or to any group is to adopt an inward focus that prioritizes personal benefit above group benefit. Wall Street and corporate America is a great example of this, but it extends into every sector of our nation: entertainment, news, politics, and guess what? Even the church. You see, when a group or a culture is focused on individualism, it leads to social isolation and the erosion of social responsibility, the erosion of trust, economic disparity, the breakdown of relationships, and poor mental health, just to name a few things. Fortune magazine recently wrote, "Selfishness is making us sick as a society." People were no different in Jesus' day as they are today. As humans, we tend to focus on ourselves before others, which is why Philippians 2, 3, and 4 says, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of others." You know, 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 24 says, "No one should seek their own good, but the good of others." Most of us, I know, don't mean to be self-focused, it just happens. But this year, I want to encourage you to focus less on yourself and more on Jesus' mission of helping others to discover Him and what they were created for. In 2025, I want to encourage you to focus less on what you want and more on what Jesus has asked you to do to help and be a blessing to others. In 2025, I want to encourage you to become a committed part of the body of Christ. Stop being a consumer, entering and exiting Sunday services with no skin in the game. Start taking ownership of the church. Start utilizing your gifts to make a difference. Start thinking about all the people who need to hear your story and what God has given you. You know, the things He's shown you, the testimony of what He's brought you through, the gifts He's given you. The question we need to ask ourselves this year is, who is my life blessing? Is it just me and my family, or am I living in an unselfish way that is blessing others around me? This year, I want to challenge you to live for Jesus and for others instead of yourself. Now, that may create inconvenience and discomfort at times, but it's the biblical way to live. Aren't you glad that Jesus didn't live for Himself? If He had, He would have never gone to the cross, which would have left you and I disconnected from the Father with no chance of getting to heaven. So it's time that we get our priorities straight and start living to be a blessing to others. Well, thanks for joining me today. I hope you have a great week, and we'll see you this Sunday.